Failing an exam, losing a job, losing someone close to you, and the death of a dear one. These are just a few and very strong examples of how someone might experience grief. Of course, they have differences in their relative potential of hurting someone. What is common is that they are all a significant trigger to grief. Although everyone's perceptions and reactions to the trigger or the grief is different, but everyone basically goes through almost similar 5 stages of grief mentioned by psychiatrist Elizabeth Ross in her book. These 5 stages being denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. There is no particular order, and not everyone will experience all 5 of them. So, yes, everyone deals and experiences grief differently. Stage 1 is denial, which simply means that the person is acting as if nothing happened, as if the loss is not real, the death is not real. What this does is that it gives your consciousness time to absorb what is happening and avoid any kind of impulsive damage. So it is a defense mechanism, it works for us. But when the denial stage is over and you actually begin to realize what happened, the suppressed emotions now begin to take over and the sorrow follows, and it then gets difficult from here on. The most common and noticeable example being the death of someone. The family members just do not accept it right away, do they? We can often hear people saying that he is just sleeping, he will wake up at any moment, and that is denial. Or a more recent example is the result of COVID test. People denying that it can be happening to them. The second stage is anger. You cannot do this to me, I won't forgive you. The person is dead, and people are now realizing that, so the anger towards that person takes over for leaving them alone. However, that is not what the person actually means. The anger is masking the pain and what the person actually feels. Right after a breakup, people involved hate each other before I miss them period starts. That is anger hiding the true emotions of being sad and missing the love and the vibes. In anger, people even curse God, deny his existence over the death of someone, but nothing of this is true. The true emotions are being masked under pain. The pain is redirecting your focus. What the hell did that Almira ever do to you? You are punching it out of impulse, redirecting your anger. The third stage is bargaining. Please God, help me with the results and I will do this and I will do that. You're trying your best to change the outcome. You create scenarios of what should have happened that would have changed the current situation. For example, he would have been alive if we got to the doctor on time. We would have been still together if I spent more time with her. By the way, that is true. The if statement that you are using is what is called bargaining. What you are doing is creating potential situations so as to avoid the hurt and find the reasons that might tell you why I shouldn't be hurt. Bargaining is kind of helping you to postpone your feelings. Depression is the fourth stage. These are feelings like my life has no meaning anymore. I won't attempt that exam again. I won't be in a relationship anymore. I am better off alone. Keep people away from me. The person chooses to deal with everything alone, isolated and being depressed in the process. Depression is a widely spread phenomenon, so well most about this stage is already known. And for better or worse, most of us has already felt it. The fifth stage is acceptance. This is the stage after which a person begins to adjust to the events that have happened, which does not necessarily mean that a person is being happy. It is just that the person has realized that whatever happened was meant to be and it is okay to move on. The memories are still there, but they are trying to now suppress it with other things. They are accepting whatever happened. For example, someone finally accepting that the breakup was ultimately a good move for inner peace. So when something happens, the people involved will deny the bad news. Then slowly when they actually realize what has happened, their emotions will be expressed in form of anger. Then they will create the scenarios that might have happened, the result that might have changed the result. There would be bargaining that if this happened, that would have happened. Then there is a stage of depression, where people are alone and need help. Finally, the person will accept that something happened and it was meant to be, and they would decide to move on, or maybe not. All the 5 stages are not necessarily being seen by everyone. Some of them may stop at denial, some of them may continue to acceptance, some of them might not even reach the stage of acceptance ever. So those were the 5 stages people need to understand before they begin to help people in grief.